And welcome to the third. Whoa, I did not fix these before I started. Just ignore what's happening on screen.
And guys, that's where I hid my buried treasure. So
welcome everyone to the third episode of our Flavor Profiles D&D campaign. I'm Nat.
And I'm Matt.
And we have the full crew back here today. We had a lovely guest with us last week. Anna Margaret came, and well, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. Anna Margaret came, and unfortunately, her character was unalived. But it was still a great
Mildly.
time. Yes. And I'm going to have everyone go around. If you haven't watched the campaign, we have the first 2 episodes up on YouTube or on Twitch VODs if you're feeling weird and want to watch it on Twitch instead of YouTube. And I'll have each person go around and say who they are and the character they're playing real quick before we get into it. So we'll start to my right, which will be Isadoodle.
Hello, my name is Isa, and I play the character called Nylan. She's an Eladrin, and she's also Grulinark, so she's from more of like the wilderness as compared to other members of the cast. She literally has a giant caracal named Tomato as her pet. So yeah, it's been fun. It's a very chaotic ride so far, but I'm loving it. So yeah.
Sabricus.
Dabricus. I am playing I totally forgot for a second, a tiefling rogue. Her name is Vextra Shadowthorn. And she is a member of the Cult of Rakdos. She's very performative in her roguiness, and she's just here to have a good time.
Yeah, rock on. All right, Yagath.
Hello, I'm Yog. That feels good to be back. My character is Janus. He's a tiefling bard in the Cult of Rakdos, entertainer, if you would. Yeah, that's my guy.
And then Voiden.
hey guys, I'm Voiden. I am playing Sal Renew, a male human sorcerer, as plain as they come. Slightly affiliated with Boros. And yeah, let's blow some things up.
Woo. Heck yeah. All right, let's do a quick recap. What happened last session? All right. The bonds of food can be as strong as those forged in combat. And our group of strangers experienced both last time when a group of strange armors attacked in the Great Hall. The group of strangers banded together to fend them off. Yes, and Nissa agrees too. And found a momentary reprieve in the aftermath. The return of a friend and a hot meal. Finally, starting to introduce themselves to one another, realizing that if they're going to be trapped, they should probably know who they are trapped with. Even if one might be a murderer. In the midst of conversation, Nadalia stormed off. Her scream brought everyone to the Great Hall just a little too late, for they find her body.
That was so perfect.
That was really good timing.
I cued that, don't you know? So the flavors of a peaceful moment are burned away by the smell of burned embers emanating from the dryad Nadalia who lies dead before you. A friendly form stands above her, casting an ominous silhouette as Janus returns from his previously catatonic state. 10 little Ravnicans trapped for a time. One felt something hot, and then there were 9. So we are now in the Great Hall. You have run in and witnessed that one of your quote-unquote party members has been burned to death.
I'll turn and I'll be like, what? So you want to explain this whole situation before we have to kill you?
I've clearly missed something here. I had quite a terrible dream. I was wandering the halls of the mansion when suddenly there was a large tomato coming down the hallway, coming at me, and there kept appearing more and more tomatoes from every which way I'd go. And then eventually I found my way, and then came out of this stupor, and I was standing here above this dead body.
I kind of turn to the group and I'm just like, does anybody have anything to restrain him? Because he's clearly mad. Like, obviously he killed someone, one of our group, and he's clearly gone mad. We gotta like tie him up or something and figure
I
out
have
what's
my
going
thorn
on.
whip.
Know that it was him? I mean, this is just another Tuesday for Janice.
It's true, fugue states are not out of my realm of possibilities. But I equivocally say that I did not kill this here critter on the ground.
I mean, of course you would say that.
Yeah, it sounds like something that killed someone would that someone who killed something would say.
Mhm.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. But
Look
what is
at her body and see like how she actually died, maybe?
Are you is Janice holding the like a knife or anything of the sort just above the dead body, or just like
He's just standing there.
he's just standing there?
Just standing there.
Okay. I kind of like wave forward. I'm like, all right, you're great idea. Let's look at the body. And I like point at Janice. I'm like, don't make any sudden movements. Like, let's figure this out first. And if you really didn't kill him, then we got to figure out what's going on.
Very well, very well. I'll back away here. But remind yourself, what was the motive? What would be the motive for me killing this here dryad?
Fugue states.
Madness alone is not a great explanation.
I mean, you are kind of mad, not gonna lie.
I'd be mad too if I found myself locked in a mansion and surrounded by tomatoes.
That's
You are-
true.
And there is a weird furry tomato over there.
Isn't he
Mo-
cute?
More tomatoes?
Mhm.
I'd like to investigate the body and look to see what the cause of death is.
Go ahead and roll.
What would you like me to roll? Investigation.
So, do you want to kind of get down on your hands and knees, maybe get kind of dirty and up close, or you just want to kind of see what you can see from where you stand?
I kind of want to get up close and personal and like try to like, get an idea of what's going on. Obviously, it's not that obvious if I can't see it as I'm getting down to look at the body.
Mhm.
So
How about an investigation roll?
cool. 11.
Did it come through? You cut out for a
Oh,
second.
did I cut out? I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
said
sorry.
an 11. An
An
11.
11?
Yep.
It's like, that's a very, very dramatic roll.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll fix it in post.
There's no post. Matt, you
No.
are freezing.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Wait, did everybody else hear me say 11?
I heard
Yeah,
you say
I
11.
heard
so
you.
I
Oh,
wanted
okay,
to
cool.
not-
I'm the people's man. You got to understand. So,
So, with the 11 down on your hands and knees, kind of looking at the body of Nadalia before you, you're a little kind of confused because this is your first time really investigating a given just
no.
the way life is.
You
You're,
cut out a little
you're
bit.
cutting out, Matt.
Give me 1 second. Is this better now?
Oh no, it's an internet cutout. It's not a mic cutout. So like
Yeah.
you're like jumping.
Video and everything cuts.
Okay, is it still kind of shifting around?
Yeah, a little bit, but like you're audible now. It's just, coming off like an ambience microphone, not your direct microphone.
Okay, I shifted to a different Wi-Fi network. We'll see if this works.
Perfect. And I think you could go back to your old mic.
Hi, networks.
I have multiple Wi-Fi networks. I have one for like TV and like stuff that I like, like your fridge when you want to like be able to watch YouTube on your fridge, right?
Mhm.
That's a joke. But like, so like
I play
if
Doom
I
on my fridge.
Yeah, that's true. I saw someone put Doom on a microwave, and then the guy goes, "Why'd you put Doom on the microwave?" And he goes, "That's a microwave." So, no, it's just like, it's not that rare of an occurrence to have multiple Wi-Fi.
Our
Alright.
house is weird, so I have a
Yeah,
backup.
I'm in the same boat. Like,
Go ahead, Matt. You're good.
So digging down, this seems a little strange because you've never come across the body of a dead dryad. So you're considering what you would expect to find at a murder scene. But one thing that really stands out, apart from the fact that she seems to be covered in some sort of gunk unrelated, is a burn mark in the shape of a hand, square in the chest.
can I hold up my hand to it to see if it's the size of my hand?
Sure.
Like,
It-
we don't know what's going on in here, so.
So your hand is, I mean, it's got 4 fingers and a thumb from what
Yep.
you can tell, but the one on there it's a little bit larger, but also it's not the most detailed burn. Like you can see where the burn is kind of radiated out, but you get at least the general form. So it's bigger than yours, but it does have at least humanoid properties to it.
I turned to Janice and I'm like, all right, I find something. Man, I don't know. Do I have like any paper? No, I shouldn't. I'll be like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you light that candle? And I'll point to like one of the candles on the wall.
Light a candle? I would, of course, need something to light it with.
All right. I like nod a little bit and I go, okay, makes sense. So she died of what looks like to be something burned her real bad, and like she's covered in goo. I don't see you covered in goo, and I don't think you could set someone on fire. So
Ah, a perfect exoneration.
I'm watching you.
it's
What did
true.
you find? What
He's
did you
on
find
fire.
there?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What did you find on
you?
the body?
Oh,
Sorry.
you're good, guys. Well, so I like don't I like reach out and I like point and I'm like, so there's a hand sign on there, and I held out my hand and it's bigger than mine, but it looks like to be a burn in like a hand mark. And also the corpse is covered in goo. Do we have anybody that like is a goo specialist here? I kind of like look around. I'm like, anybody?
The Boric, the Orza priest in the back, kind of shrinks away slightly and seems a little unnerved.
Okay, no goo specialists.
But you say there is a handprint there.
Yeah, so I kind of like beckon over at Janice to like take a look, and I hold my hand over the hand showing, and I go, see, like it's like when you singe something as a like as a sorcerer, you can't see it because my hand's off camera, but like I'm like putting my hand up against it and I'm like tracing like the fingers. I'm like, when you radiate heat outwards, it kind of leaves a mark of where your hand has been, so we can
Ah.
kind of get the size of a hand.
I see, I see. I do recall myself a fable about a young maiden who attended a ball and lost a shoe. A very similar such predicament we have here. Perhaps we should go down the line and have everyone put their hand in the mark to test the size.
Is that the same one? Is that the same story about the scorpion riding on the frog's back?
It's I don't think they're related.
Okay. Figured I would double check. And then I beckon Janice to like put his hand over the mark.
Janice is gonna put his hand where the mark is.
It does not match.
It would appear that I'm the wrong princess.
I start like beckoning people down. It's like, I don't want to joke, but it's like, come on down, price is right. Like, like start like calling people up. I'm like, all right, guys, come on. Everybody needs to check their hand size here. We need to figure out what's going on here.
I go up and check my hand size, and then I also pull out one of my daggers and get like a little bit of the goo on the end of the dagger so that I can examine it a little bit closer and easier and see if it reacts to anything.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything different as they're going up?
I don't want to touch the goo.
What's your perception?
My
Nayland?
perception
Nyland.
is +4.
Could you give me a roll?
Okay. I got an 11.
So you're kind of off put by the goo, clearly. But there's something kind of familiar about it to you.
God damn it. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go touch it.
So when you kind of go up near the body and find some of the goo just on the ground, you don't have to touch the dead body. It's got a very consistency, I'd even say viscosity, to whatever it is that's covering tomato.
Was Tomato here? Where is Tomato right now? Is he here?
Sitting down, kind of trying to clean itself.
I have like I have a skill that I think I can talk to animals, I think. I would like to talk to Tomato.
Okay.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go.
speak with animals. I have that. Do I have to cast it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's I don't
Oh, and it just checks the
believe-
box. That's all it does.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm casting speak with animals. I want to know what Tomato did.
Well, what would you like to ask Tomato?
Well, Tomato buddy, were you here? What did you do here? Is this your mark? Is this your paw?
It's Tomato stops clean Tomato he, she, they
It's a guy.
guy. So Tomato stops cleaning himself and kind of looks up, kind of looks at the body of Nadalia, and then looks back. It's like jumped thinking friend.
Oh, okay. I don't think Tomato's capable of wielding fire and killing Nadalia, but
Kill? Food?
no, Tomato, no.
Tomato goes back to cleaning himself from whatever the gunk is.
You didn't. Was Nadalia already seeming kind of out of it when you jumped at her? Or how was she?
Surprised?
Did you see anything that happened at all to her?
I was eating that warm food.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just a little confused because you were in the room eating with us, but your mark matches. So I'm not sure how that's happening, or at least the timeline of events.
Because I jumped on her.
Oh, okay, like just now? Or
Before. Are you okay?
I don't think so. I haven't really spoken to a cat in a long time, so
Tomato kind of stares at you funny.
okay. Okay. I'm gonna try and figure this out.
While she's talking to the cat, I just stare at her weirdly and at the cat. And then I ask everyone else, where's the other dude that was also in that other room with you? Like the Vidalkin? Where'd he go?
Oh, that's a
Or they?
good,
Where did they
good,
go?
good
So you wanna-
question.
You want to look around for Foudy?
Mm-hmm.
So-
I have. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I do have a question before we move on to this next section too.
Mhm.
About like character knowledge,
Mhm.
like guild knowledge.
Yep.
Matt, can I send you a DM about it?
Sure.
Okay, I will send you a DM over Discord while you're getting this next thing set up because
Okay.
I don't want to drop this and like do whatever and give people ideas if this isn't a thing we should know in character.
No, easy enough. So Vextra kind of looking around for where the Vidalkin is. You can still see the doors open to the foyer and the light coming in from the wall of runes outside. And there's a form standing there on the inside that is clearly Foudy. He has not moved.
They call out to him, hey, you! Did you know what happened? Did you see what happened?
There's just silence coming from there. You see a little bit of movement periodically, but you're not sure if they're ignoring you or don't hear you.
It would appear they're still in the fugue state.
I was trying to think of a nice pun of tomato and fugue. I couldn't find one. So, does the goose smell funny?
Do you want to smell it?
I'm going to turn to Vex. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you still have that goo on the end of your dagger? You want to? Does it smell weird?
I toss my dagger to him. Just full on toss it.
And I'm not gonna attempt to catch it. I'm gonna move out of the way.
Good, then I won't call for an attack roll.
It was a friendly toss. It wasn't heroic.
I look. I've seen campaigns end from missing a dagger toss. So.
A falling knife has no handle. You don't want to cut yourself with that goo, maybe.
Right. Exactly. I'd like to sniff the goo on the end of the dagger.
Taking a whiff, it hits a little hard when you kind of get close. Of kind of a mixture of like rotten food or garbage.
Good news, guys. I don't think this was dessert. And I'll like slide the dagger back towards Vextra.
I pick up my dagger, walk up to him, wipe the goo on his shoulder, and then walk back to wherever I was.
Okay, so Matt, I'm gonna go the route that I just messaged you about that you said was okay. I'm gonna call out to Boric and be like, Mr. Priest Orzov, devotee of Orzov. I don't remember what your name was, but why don't you? Can't you communicate with the dead? Why don't you like ask her who killed her?
It doesn't work that way.
It does in all the stories.
Stories are that. Unless you have debt, We have no hold. He's visibly kind of like nauseous and kind of looking squeamish, kind of near the body.
I'll pay you to do it.
How much?
I take out 3 gold pieces out of my bag.
Fool.
I say something along the lines of, "I'll make you a deal.
I'm listening.
If we find out who the killer is directly, she gives us a name, or the entity or being that did it, I will give you 5. If she gives us no information, I'll give you 2."
What if she doesn't know?
3 as agreed.
Quite a fair deal, I'd say myself.
But fine, deal. Boric kind of clambers closer to the body. This deal, but being Orzov, in it for the payment, and starts to kneel closer to the body. I have the stuff on me. Ugh. Wretched.
It's not that bad.
Would you like it?
Bring it.
Would make you feel more at home. Ugh.
What is that supposed to mean?
You're not one from the city.
I sense some disdain in that.
Do you want me to solve this or not?
Yeah, get to it.
Kind of closes his eyes and seems to be concentrating, whether or not it's on making the dead speak or is up to you. There's nothing. There's nothing at all. He starts clambering back away and slips on the goo trying to escape the body, making him a little more covered. What is that?
You're saying there's no spirit here?
There's nothing. There's no debt, no spirit, no soul, no life. Here or hereafter. Keep
And
it,
this
money.
is an unusual thing, you're saying?
This is it's unnatural.
I hand over the 3 coins.
Keep
the 3
it.
gold.
Keep it. I want none of this. I do not want that on my ledger.
Have
Are
you
you
not seen
saying
this
that
before?
something like stole her soul or something?
There's something. Something. But I don't know.
I turn to Janice. I'm just like, "Are you able to eat souls?"
Souls are a bit out of my wheelhouse.
Not even as a party trick?
Not even as a party trick, no. If only, if only. I could barter in souls. Have we had everyone here press their hand on the mark to test the sizing? I think we should continue with that if we cannot speak with the dead.
So Raish walks up and just holds his hand up to the body. And Adania is the same. And then lastly would be Anka, who holds her hand up, and it doesn't match either. Which would make the group. Unless you...
No one has any hidden hands, do they? That they're hiding?
Had any secret extra hands? No.
I have my foot.
I don't think we want to spend the time having everybody check their feet up against the hand mark.
Okay, I thought I'd throw it.
I like your outside of the box thinking.
Thank you.
That's true. That's true.
Thank
It's
you.
not the worst. Keep it
It's not-
going.
Thank you.
That is true. It's not the worst idea we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I think back to smelling the goo.
So, Sal, why don't you give me a perception roll?
Yeah.
As you
Oh,
smell the
bam.
goo.
A 3.
It still stinks.
Oh, that's goo. That's some goo you got.
Yeah.
That,
That surely is goo.
You almost get a hint of something it could have been once, but it is quickly overtaken.
I kind of just turned to everybody. I go, this is definitely not our dessert for tonight.
It might be tomatoes.
Tomato kind of looks up at you when you say his name. And then looks back down to kind of keep trying to clean the goo off.
I'm gonna go pet tomato.
So you all gave me the 5th degree. What have y'all been up to? How do I know that you all didn't murder this individual while I was in my state?
Some floating armor, and then everybody went and ate. And then we came out here after we heard her scream.
Floating armor. Okay, we're in that room, right? So I would see the remnants of the armor there. Okay. And so that in that room is the dining room. Okay, I see. And no one has been upstairs yet.
Actually, it was when we were going upstairs that the armor activated.
Well, I propose that we continue to explore the house, for clearly our skills of deduction are running out on this dead body here, and we need more information.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nylan, as you're petting Tomato, you can see that most parties about as clean as he could be. But you still kind of get the scent of whatever that goo sludge is.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice on the ground near him prints.
I'm sorry, it cut out. I noticed what?
A trail of paw prints in the goo.
I want to follow the trail.
So the trail seems to be going in reverse. The paw prints were coming towards you, and they lead to a door on the east wall of the main hall
Mm-hmm.
that's slightly ajar.
I want to go through that hall door. Or I'm gonna be like, guys, there's a trail here. We should probably follow this.
I get up and start to get ready. I try to get the goo off of me and everything ready to go. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
So Boric kind of sprints forward, anything to get away from that body. And as you all get closer to this door, you notice kind of a shift in smell. And it goes from the mixture of just empty house and remnants of the sludge to almost the smell of memories. Happy ones. Memories of family, of sitting around a table. It kind of makes you think back a little bit to the dining room. What do you all smell individually?
I'll start. Uh, I'll think that I like smell like the smell of like fresh bread.
Uh, let's see. Janice will smell that sort of, I don't know how to, like ether smell of like a burning light bulb from the stage.
Vexra would smell her mother's cooking.
Nylan would smell some kind of like aromatic, like flowery kind of scent that reminds her of the gardens outside her old home.
And y'all want to go in?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Indeed.
Then go forth.
You open the door and you are in what now appears to be a kitchen. The spacious kitchen shows years of care and use. There's shanks of venison and other cured meats suspended above a masterfully crafted stone island in the center. Strings of onions and herbs crisscross the ceiling like webs above cluttered tables crafting, and aroma reminiscent of countless delicious memories. A breeze wafts the scent towards the kitchen entrance from an open window, from what appears to be an open door on the north wall. The trail of tomato leads to the middle of the room, under an island.
Guess we'll go check the island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've put a small map in the group chat for of the
Let me pull it up.
Oh wow.
I walk over to the open window.
Okay. Let's start with the island. Um, the island isn't. It's your typical kitchen island. It's not super tall. Um, you notice that the trail is leading underneath the island.
All right, Janice will pop a squat down and start digging around under there to see where the trail leads.
Okay. As you're crouched beneath there, if you could roll investigation for me.
Okay. Okay, that's a 14.
Okay. So while you're down there, you notice that whoever has been sweeping in this kitchen probably needs to sweep a little bit better. There's some dust and crumbs and remnants of whatever else has been in the kitchen underneath there. But you also notice that the goo is leading into what appears to be a grate on the floor.
Am I able to lift the grate out?
Yes. It comes up very easily as you lift it. It appears like it's, a typical grate used for spills water when cleaning the kitchen. but you can't see very far down in there. But you can see that the ooze does go into the grate.
Does anyone have a light source? A way to see further down to this hole in the ground?
Let me check my sheet real quick to make sure I actually know the spell and I'm not hallucinating. I'd like to not even answer and just cast light down into the hole.
Okay. You can see that the hole is small, but not small enough that a caracal can manage its way through it. And that it appears to kind of take a curve. It's not super deep, but you can see that it kind of curves out, leading somewhere.
Naylan, are you able to ask your cat where it was and if it had climbed through this hole?
Sure. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. All right, Tomato. Did you go down this hole or what? Would you say?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you find anything interesting?
No.
What'd you find?
You.
Oh. So does this lead outside? Or where did you come from?
The place. The noise. And the things.
What?
The place with the noise and the things.
Like when all that chaos was happening and we were all running?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I guess this is our way outside. Do you think you could check on what's happening out there?
No.
No.
Tomato kind of hunches back a little bit. Ears kind of go back.
You don't want to at least you don't have to go out, just maybe peek your head through for us.
There's
I'll
an
give you a
opening.
treat. There's no opening?
There's an opening.
And are
That's
you
how
able to I'm sorry, go on.
I can get out.
Oh wait.
Oh,
I
Tomato's
think you
going out and stuck forever.
Wait, I think it cut out.
How about now?
You're good.
Okay.
Sorry, your camera froze, so
At least it froze when I was looking pensive.
it was a great glamour shot.
Go. Because you can't come with.
Well, yeah, I don't want us to be separated, buddy. I just want you to go in, see what's up, and then come back to us. If it's still chaos out there. It'll be okay. I'll give you a treat.
Okay. So, Tomato, slight reluctance, climbs back into the drain. And you
So,
see the tail disappear.
Vextra, who's standing at the window, all of a sudden, you notice a little caracal ear pop out outside
Okay.
from the window you're standing at.
What else do I see outside?
You see that there is another one of those creatures staring inward.
Like right at the window?
Mm-hmm. It's not right up against the window, but you can see it from the window.
I see a tomato exited from, but I don't think we want to leave.
Oh,
Well, at least we know where the cat came from. Perhaps we
Mhm.
should search the rest of the kitchen here.
hmm
If the cat can get in, what else can?
Let's not think about that too deeply.
Should we put something on
And
top
are
of the hole?
there
Sorry.
are there any like blinds or something for the window?
There are curtains.
I pulled the curtains.
Okay.
Smart move. I don't want that thing watching us.
Okay,
The view
Tomato,
wasn't
you
that
can come
great anyway.
back.
You hear like a little bit of a shuffling and slight slushy sound as Tomato's head pops back up out of the vent.
All right. Good job. Good boy.
Goes over into the corner and starts to re-clean himself.
The cat covered in more goo.
Yup.
This might just be some run-of-the-mill sewer goo.
Mm-hmm.
If sorry, God.
Nope, go ahead.
If the cat's covered in sewer goo, and the corpse is covered in sewer goo, maybe whatever killed her came from outside.
So
That's
something
true.
did get in.
But the cat was also sitting on them for a while beforehand, so the goo may have just come from the cat.
All of a
Also
sudden,
definitely.
a door in the room slams open with the breeze.
I'll turn and ready a combat stance.
Which door slams open? Like relative to where we are.
It is. Let's see. There's the window. It's not that far away, like maybe 5 feet from you.
Does it slam inward or outward?
Inward.
So all these are doors here, and then that's the window on the east side.
Mhm.
The red on the map are the doors, and then the blue is the window.
Right.
Oh, okay, that
right.
makes sense. Okay.
I palm one of my daggers and wait to see if anything comes through the door.
Nothing.
Alright, I'll pop my head in there.
As you get closer to the door, you notice that there's debris crunching on the ground beneath you. Appears the door was broken open.
Is anyone in there? Is anyone in there?
Just hear yourself echoing a little bit.
This house is very off-putting. I'll take a look in that room.
I'll stealthily follow him.
I would also like to go in the room.
I'll cover the door.
I have also another question. Have everyone been sticking together? Do we have the entire group with us in the kitchen? Or did some people stay behind
It
in the main
was
hall?
just you four in the
Hmm.
kitchen. And Tomato. So far.
And Tomato.
So where's Bork?
So they're all probably back with the dead body.
Mhm.
Okay.
That was a good perception, Nylan. You notice that Boric is kind of missing.
Yeah, he seemed really spooked. I'm gonna start shouting, Boric! Boric! No one know where Boric went?
I don't recall.
Just kind of like shrug.
He seemed really scared when we were at that dead body.
I mean, he turned down some money, so it's probably a big deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got a mystery to solve, gang. So
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's part of it.
Certainly has a bad attitude about everything.
And he's gone. Means we can wreck this place and no one will care.
I like your thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Janice just knocks over a glass.
It shatters on the floor.
Yeah, that'll get him to come running.
Tomato sees this and does the same.
Maybe tomatoes aren't so bad. Yes. Anything in this new room we've discovered?
Um, it's just the room back into the main hall.
Oh, it's just the main hall.
Yeah.
That door is the one
Yep.
that opened. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Is the rest of the remaining folks still by the dead body?
Mm-hmm.
They are. Okay.
The door down.
I'm calling to the people in that room.
What, dearie? I couldn't quite hear you.
So wait, are they in the other room? Okay, I'm backwards with how the rooms are.
yeah.
So you have the hall, and then the kitchen is right there. So I mean, you can see them; they can see you.
Was it the kitchen door that we came in that was open that we're
Yes.
now going back through? Okay. Okay, so I am okay.
Who broke the door down? Which one of you?
We've been here trying to solve a mystery while you all went off after.
Did you solve anything?
Well, we need more clues.
We need more
Have you-
information.
Have you seen Vorik gone by?
He was here a second ago. Maybe he went back for more food.
Excuse me.
One of you should check the dining room for Vorik. We're going to continue to search this kitchen here.
You see Raish get up and start walking back towards one of the dining doorways.
How many of them are still remaining in the main hall?
Just 3.
He's
Just 3.
bored.
Oh, 4 technically. If you include
Oh.
the dead body.
And included the dead body.
Mhm.
Try to maintain a line of eyesight if you could with everyone. Don't go off on your own. Otherwise, we're going to lose people, I have the feeling.
Ida has my back.
Yes, I will remain with Reich. Anka, why don't you join us as well? Okay.
So now that they're doing that, I think Janice wants to just like fully tear the kitchen apart, looking for anything.
Sure, we'll
Okay.
do that, but the opposite of where he is. So like working so that we don't double look. Looking for anything out of the ordinary is what Vector's looking for.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's do an investigation check.
Okay.
Oh dear.
12.
A 6.
Okay.
Wait, are we all doing it?
Wait, did that just roll an intimidation?
I think you did
Just
intimidation.
whoever wants. You're intimidating that kitchen.
Intimidating the kitchen.
Let me try that.
Show me
again.
your secrets at kitchen.
Whoever
I swear you-
wants to look
9.
around the kitchen. Roll
Yeah,
investigation.
I'll also like follow suit.
Me too.
All right. Let me pull up your rolls because I don't have them. open. Okay. Vexra, you see a lot of pots and pans. They're shiny. You notice some really cool artisanal knives.
Pocket one of them.
Okay. Janice, you notice that there is on the west wall a door that I'm assuming you're just kind of going crazy in there. It's kind of sounded like you were just going to start throwing things around. So if you would like to kick that door down, you can kick that door down.
Hell yeah.
All right. So when you kick that door down, all of a sudden this cold breeze shooting at your face. You notice it kind of feels like a giant fridge.
Mm.
Let's see. Sal, uh, you notice that there's a bunch of spices and jars and boxes along the north wall. You you notice that the labels are have a variety of languages and symbols, and you don't recognize most of them. And then Nylan, you notice that on the east wall there's a large fireplace that is still warm and appears to have 3 pots suspended for cooking, and all are empty and clean.
All
Kitchen.
right. It's a kitchen.
Yeah, most certainly is a kitchen.
Is there anything in the icebox?
You notice that there's some shelves in there. They kind of have a variety of boxes on them with different symbols and writings on them. Again, nothing you really recognize. You do take notice that this is probably the largest fridge you've ever seen. It's basically a whole room.
Oh, whoa.
Seems that some sort of magician has captured an ice elemental and used its spirit in this room to create a constant state of cold. Smart. Wish I had thought of something like that. Nothing of interest in here, though.
I'm going to essentially be like, I can't read any of this writing. I don't even know. It's almost like something that I've never seen before. I mean, they look like spices. It looks like something you could cook with, but whoever owned this, like, owned this stuff, is not from is not from downtown Ravnica. I'll say that.
Mm.
So did you say that the fireplace was still warm?
Mm-hmm.
Warm, so as in like there's not a fire lit currently, but it's as if one was just blown out,
Correct.
and there's suspended pots and pans next to it.
Yeah, kind of like above the fire, so they're like hanging
Above,
from the
okay.
fireplace. Yeah,
Okay.
from the mantle.
Huh. Thinking.
I start walking out of the kitchen.
There was another door in the room, right? On like the north wall. Did we see where that led yet? Or was that the fridge?
On the north wall was no, the west wall had the fridge.
I guess whoever cooked that dinner cooked it here.
Hmm.
Does the kitchen seem like someone would cooked in it recently, or like, does it seem like,
Yes.
okay?
Mhm.
Trying to think of if I were to hide anything anywhere in a kitchen where I would put it. Are there drawers below the countertop?
There are not.
Okay. I'm gonna just start looking through the spices while I wait for someone else to find it because I don't have a better idea of what to do in this situation.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Did you want to investigate that north door?
Yeah, I'll check that door out if we haven't been through there yet.
You notice that the door leads outside.
Like outside,
Outside.
where that scary monster thing is.
Mm-hmm. And
Hmm.
there are more of those broken pieces kind of crunching beneath your feet.
Can I like crouch down and look at what those are? It's just the pieces of the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, like someone kicked the door in.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I like crack the door a little just to look at to see if there's any footprints on the ground outside in the dirt?
Sure. As you open the door a little bit, you notice that being take a step forward towards the house.
Oh, I'll shut the door. Everyone, I would advise against going out there. That is just an exit, and there's a big scary monster out there.
Ooh. Noted.
I like fight the urge to look out like the window or the door to see what it is, and just like trust the group.
When this happens, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, Janice?
Yes.
Oh no, another fugue state comes on.
Uh-oh. That's an 8.
Okay.
Oh,
All
no.
of a sudden, your brain starts filling with Phantom of the Opera music.
Oh no.
Not again.
You're you're conscious of what's happening around you, but it's almost like it's stuck on a record, like going through your head.
Do I notice that Janice has started acting weird again?
He's not necessarily acting weird. He just more so has a song permanently stuck in his head at the moment.
So I'm still like conscious.
Her?
I just have this thing
You're
burned in my brain.
You're fully yourself. You just have Phantom of the Opera stuck in your head.
Something happened to my brain again. I have a song stuck in my head, but not like a regular song stuck in your head. Because that's sometimes a pleasant thing. Some people might say. But this is worse than that.
Do you need to lay down? Like, you've had a day. Like, do
think
you need
we've-
like a...
Oh, you've been going through it.
I think we've all been going through it, but for some reason I am taking the brunt. It's probably because I
Are
keep
there any
looking at these
potatoes in the
monsters.
kitchen?
Oh, so these aren't the type of monsters you want to look at, is what you're trying to say.
Usually my monster count for the day, I'd say, is 0. I want to look at 0 monsters for the day.
What's your average so far?
It's higher than one would hope.
Okay.
All of a sudden, you hear a scream.
I turn to the... I like start running. I turn back to the group. I go, I can't believe it. We lost another one.
Is it Vork?
Only one in that house would sound like
It's
And it's-
definitely Vork.
it's Boric.
Well, we
Vork
found
has
Vorik.
a voice.
Come quick! We need your help!
I'll bolt towards the direction of the voice.
I'll start running too.
Yes.
So the voice takes you back out to the main hall, and you see the body of Nadalia on the ground still, but unattended. Kind of a ruckus, as it were, on the far end of the main hall. Outside the door to the dining room on the far end, there was another door. And you see Raish and Ida at it, frantically trying to get it open. Theme, muffled yet still resonating, coming from the other side.
I kind of turn and I'm just like, who can break down the door the fastest? I don't want to burn the place down.
Really my strong suit.
Shh.
Is Janice still out of it?
I'm here, but I'm also a weakling.
Oh,
Get me out of here! Get me out!
is there anyone physically strong?
Oh my goodness! Anka walks up, just punches the door open.
Damn, Granny.
Old lady.
Ah! The door just flies open, and you all hear sort of a light crash of ground. What took you so long? I was alone. This place is scary. There are no voices of the dead.
I mean, you're the one who left us.
Yes, where have you been?
Oh, I was looking for something to eat, hopefully regaining my appetite.
But you
The
know where
dead
the,
tires me.
but you know where the food is. We pointed to the like we were there together.
You pointed to the
Earlier.
door over here. There are 2 doors. I figured it was this one. Then it
So where-
locked on me and I couldn't get out.
So where does this door lead?
It looks like a study of sorts. There's some rather nice things in here.
I kind of turn to the rest of the party and I'm like, team meeting. I do like the timeout team meeting, and I kind of like pull everybody over to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Tomato trots up as well.
Yeah, I'm
Tea for
like,
tomato.
yes, T for tomato.
Yes.
And I go, guys, I don't trust him anymore.
He's
So-
definitely sus.
So, like, here's the thing, right? He's the only one that can talk to the dead in our group, right? No one else here can talk to the dead. Just double checking. No one else has that innate ability. If he's the only one that can talk to the dead, how do we know that there's no voices of the dead? That seems like something extreme. Like, come on, there's voices of the dead everywhere. If there was a place with no voices of the dead, don't you think people would make, sell tickets there or whatever? Orzhov would like do whatever they can to monetize it.
We are just taking him at face value that he can't cast that spell, or that he has tried to cast that spell and has had no reaction. We don't know for sure if he's lying to us.
I will say he didn't take the money, which is very unlike him.
Right. But that's true. That's true. I just don't think he's telling us the full truth.
I'm also
think he's
with
an
you on
idiot.
that. That is
Could
also
also be
That could be
idiot.
true. That could also be
These
true.
are all true things.
And for the fact that he just wandered into a place on his own where there's clearly no food. You ever open a door and see a bookshelf and a place to sit and place to lounge and be like, "Oh, this is where the food is. This must be the dining room." If all you eat is scotch.
You're an idiot.
All right. Time in.
Oh, what are we
Well-
talking about?
Well, Vorik, we've solved one mystery, and it's that you're the mystery of is Vorik an idiot? And the answer was yes. Don't wander off again.
We
Oh,
decided
I
to vote you off the island.
Solved a mystery myself. This door opens inward, not out. But you should
That just
see what's
confirms our
in here.
hypothesis doublefold.
Do you want a sticker? A gold star?
Yes. Is it real gold? Do I have to speak to anyone?
You have to tell us what's going on.
Found something interesting.
What'd you find? Besides the door that no one asked for.
You should come in here and see.
I will follow him into the study.
Yeah, I'll kind of like look around to the rest of the party, and I'm like kind of like motioning like as a group, let's go together. Let's not, because I'm
Raisin-
very like
Raisin,
suspicious.
Ida are still sort of like by the door of the dining room.
They're right there. The door to the dining room. You're very close to each other, with about 5 feet.
I
just
see.
on
So
opposite walls in the corner.
Right. They're at that northwest door to the dining room, and the study door is right there. Okay, I got it.
Yep.
Visualize.
If you scroll up a little bit in the group chat, there's a known map from the previous session that shows the main hall and dining room.
Ah, perfect. Oh, there we
And
go.
if you
Look at
see
that.
the door to the top left,
Okay.
I see. Okay, yes, that helps out a lot.
so is everyone going into the study?
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Mhm.
So light from the wall of runes that you saw at the foyer outside is emanating from a mix of clear and stained glass windows, casting a golden dancing glow across the room. A table with 3 high-back leather seats is the centerpiece of this apparent study. A wall-length floor-to-ceiling bookcase makes up east wall, and tomes and trinkets. A fireplace on the north wall still glows with warmth. Smaller shelves and a small workbench with damage books line the other walls. On the table sits an odd board with a scattered group of small pieces.
Yes.
I'm going to walk towards like the burnt books and things of the sort. I'm going to see like what, what type of literature was burnt here. If it was just like, happened to be circumstance, or if it was like meant so that other people didn't read it.
So it's the northeast corner. There's the workbench. They aren't really burned. They're just older books that are damaged. So from age and time, you see binding materials there. It looks like a professional book binding for someone who does it on their own time. If you flip through a couple pages, there looks to be a rather old The History of the Guild Pack, part 702, that's currently being worked on.
Hey, can I, to not make it too rough on you, can I deem anything useful out of the page that is currently being, or, like what it's open to right now and like what's being bound to? Or is it just
So-
Ravnica history?
It's just Ravnica history.
Okay.
Knowing like the general history of Ravnica and how it is, seeing volume 762 is like, oh, he's still in the early.
Got it.
And it just, you can, from what you can tell just looking at it, there's care taken in the work, but it's almost complete.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll continue to look through that while everybody else is like exploring as well.
I'm waiting for Boric to show us what he found so interesting. And so I'm just staring at him expectantly.
Same.
While staring at Boric, you all notice that the light suddenly kind of has a passing shadow to it from the outside windows, which causes Boric, of course, to scream and shudder back into the when he you hear the board on top of it kind of rattle and the pieces clink against each other and glow a light blue.
You were cutting in and out. What is glowing a little blue when it
Pieces
moves?
next to a board on the table.
Okay.
Okay.
Walk up to the table and take a look at the pieces in the board.
Me as well.
So, sitting in the middle of the table, you find a small stone game board surrounded by 9 octahedron-shaped pieces with ornate carvings in them. They appear made of a strange stone-metal hybrid. There's a piece of parchment under the pieces.
I
8
examine the piece
pieces,
of parchment.
There are 9 pieces,
9 pieces, 8-sided pieces.
8-sided pieces. They look like kind of, well, like an 8-sided die. So on the parchment, you read the following. Brave warriors traveled to meet their demise foretold. Their secret to their victory kept shall yet unfold. If hedrons placed correctly on the shrine, celestial beds for 4 of 9. I'm going to put the board in the chat along with the text of the riddle for you.
Oh, perfect. Oh, riddles. Here we go.
Man, I really like this Ravnica history.
It is riveting. Currently, they're talking about the individually carved stones on how one master artisan hand carved every guild symbol over a 90-year period.
Oh my gosh.
It's way better than reading about currency exchange rates.
There's probably a book for that on the shelf.
That's true.
Okay, so everyone should have the text of the parchment in the chat along with the game board. And you have 9 pieces.
The piece is identical.
They're all identical.
Are we able to take the game board? Like, is it mobile?
Yes.
I think this might be a clue for something later.
And I move to start putting the little hedrons in my pocket. One of my many pockets.
So when you pick them up, the moment you touch them, they all start to glow blue along these little runic lines. And the moment they drop into your pocket, you hear a clatter. And they land back
They land back where?
on the table.
I guess we're not taking him
Well,
with
that's-
us. Right, 4 of 9. Let's see. Two.
If you would like, you can also do skill checks to see about getting a hint, depending on what you would like to question.
How do I skill check?
So, what would you like to learn about the pieces
Oh.
or the puzzle?
Okay, let me think about that.
So these markings on the board, they're markings on the board. These aren't already established pieces, right?
So, those are just how the board is marked. You see the Roman numerals on the top and on the side,
Mhm.
and the sort of star shapes are etched into it.
Let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over and be like, "Hey, what's everybody looking at?" Um,
Puzzle thing? Are you good at puzzles?
kind of. I played a lot of games when I was growing up. I like reach into my bag and I like pull out like what's like a chess set and I like put it right back in. I'm like, you never know when you want to play. Let's see what this is here. So I kind of look at it and I'm like, well, how many we have? Did this come with any pieces? Right? Because like Vexra, Zeb, you picked up the pieces and tried to put them away or whatever, right? Or tried to move them off the board.
They're back on the table.
Oh, okay, okay. If I place a piece, I'm going to try to pick up one of the pieces and put it on the marking on the board. Does anything happen when I put it on the marking?
The piece just sits on the marking.
Does it
Is there-
do any? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there a particular one?
I'm gonna put it on the I guess using XY coordinates 4, 2. So bottom row, second in.
So nothing changes. The piece just sits on the board.
Okay.
So are the pieces the ones that are etched with the star, or are there separate pieces that we put on the board? Like Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not moving the stars, are we?
No, the stars are carved into the board.
Okay, so the board remains as is, and there's just separate pieces that we can put on top.
The piece of equal-sized, 8-sided diamonds almost, but they're made out of a metallic stone.
Okay, and how many of those do we have?
There are 9.
Okay, there's 9 of them.
Mhm.
And nothing on the board can be moved. Okay.
Is there any intelligible markings on the hedrons?
Not that you recognize. When you touch them and they kind of glow, you see that there is some sort of pattern or shape thing you recognize.
Can we at least start out by putting a token on each of these stars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On each of the stars, you don't really notice anything kind of happen.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, the moment you set them down and take your hand off, they just go back to being pieces and nothing.
Okay.
On the hedrons, on each of the sides, is it a different marking on each of the 8 sides?
Every single side seems completely different.
Can any of you recognize these symbols?
About me accidentally throwing my metal die on my keyboard.
Yeah, just throwing it IRL, just being like, "Here, catch," through the camera. I'll pick up one. Can I use some sort of? Can I do like a history check on it to see if I recognize anything?
Sure.
That would be a 10.
So looking at it, it doesn't really ring a bell in your memory from any history of Ravnica that you remember.
I'm going to kind of like look at the numbers at the rows and columns. I'm going to be like, I think I have an idea of how this might work.
Hmm.
I think that the marks on the board may not be relevant to solving the puzzle. Hear me out. I believe that the numbers on the top and the numbers on the sides are going to be the correct numbers of pieces that
Mhm.
need to be in each row.
Right.
I like that.
So I'm going to start by placing pieces, and maybe I should just open this up in Paint and like put a piece down. I'll put a piece in the top left hand corner on that mark.
Okay, so top left.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm like kind of like pointing at it, and I'm like, okay, so like top left, right? So the top row, the top column needs to have 3 in it. It looks like,
Right.
and the top row needs to have 3 in it. So, and I'm like deducing, right? And I'm like, okay, so the first and last column
Right.
each have 3. So theoretically, we can do top corners, and I kind of like drop a piece on each corner.
Right.
So top left, top right corner.
Yep.
Okay.
And that would also be true for column 1, row 3.
Correct.
So column 1, third from the top.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I kind of like trace it along with my finger, and it's the same thing. And I go, it's the same thing with the last column
Mhm.
because column 1 or column 4, row 3 are both 3s. So
Correct.
probability wise, and I like put a piece down.
So which column was that last one?
It would be row 3, column 4.
So column 4, which row?
Column 4, row 3. So that when the 3 threes intersect.
Okay. Sorry, it cut out for a second. I want to make sure I heard correctly.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm like pointing to like each of like the rows that have commons, And I'm like, so what we need to do is we need to figure out which ones are statistically not able to be there.
Mm-hmm. Anyone with where 1 is present makes that a lot more difficult. So that's can usually be probably assumed to be a blank space in those columns or rows with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know there's going to be more than 3 in those columns.
Pick up a
Okay.
piece, and I'm just like, what if we try this? And I put the piece down on 1, 1. So it would be row 4, column 2. I'm like, if there should be one piece in each of the columns, theoretically the intersection should be the best place. And we can always move it. And I put a piece down there.
So row 4, column
2.
2, where the star is.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so got it. So
Give
that's
me-
the 1-1 intersection.
That would be
Yeah.
the 1-1 intersection, and that could be the only one in that intersection.
Correct.
So there can't be any other pieces in either of the 1 rows or columns.
I'm going to open up Paint and just draw what we've done so
let's
far.
start drawing this.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
good.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So, because if we might just sit here and just be like, hey, look, 1, 2, dupe.
Would you like to hear a joke while you wait?
Of course.
Yes. Why not?
My ex-husband's.
Oh God.
But shh. Good old Harry. He's kind of obliterated now.
Oh.
I kind of just like nod and I go, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you say.
So the other pieces would have to go in row 1, column 3. And row 3, column 3. That only leaves 7, though. That's only 7 pieces.
Yeah, and 2 need to go in somewhere on row 2. Oh, no, that works. And then you go row 2, column 1, and
Right.
row 4, column 1. So it would
Right.
look
Oh,
something
that is
like
9. Okay, that is 9.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it would look something like this, Matt.
Okay.
For just so that you could see how we're
That
doing
works.
Sorry.
That's it.
Just
Matt, every now and then we get a jump scare of your camera freezing, and then all of a sudden you going really close to the camera because you had slowly moved in over the time, but it fast forwards it, and I'm like, oh no, the new Magic Horror sets come out early.
This is intentional for the story, just to
Okay,
kinda
good.
keep you on edge. That way you always have that unsettling feel of
Yes,
the things
this is
outside
the
jumping
horror
in.
section of the.
Correct.
Time to train a lot of raccoons and shoot through our internet cable, just enough to make this work. And what you've provided, the moment you place the last piece, all of the hedrons begin, and you hear
Cut out.
a loud click. And the door on the south wall slides into the wall. It's almost like a pocket door, revealing another room to the south with a fireplace lit and sort of a different shade of a glow. This isn't the golden yellow of the runic wall you've been seeing outside windows and doors. This is different.
I kind of just like look to the rest of the group and I'm like, do you think this place is zoned to have this many rooms?
What do
How
you
is
mean by
that the
zoned?
first question that comes to your head?
I'm trying to diffuse.
First question that comes to mind.
It's
could
a
be friends
very
involved.
stressful situation. I kind of just shrug. I'm like, all right, let's go. Do we bring the board?
Let's leave the board in case it needs to be in position for that door to stay open.
I kind of like try to jot down what the order is. I go, hold on, before we go through the door, I just want to make sure of something. And I pick up a piece off the board.
The piece doesn't move.
Okay. Cool. Well, that answers my question, and I just start walking towards the door.
I also walk towards the door.
Me too.
Tomato trots along after everybody. So walking into this room, your eyes need a moment to adjust. You no longer have the mix of natural and magical light that you've been dealing with. And there's sort of a muted bluish white glow in the room. As your eyes adjust, you notice shelves line the wall that appear filled with ancient text. Sal, these look older than the few you saw in the last room and
Okay.
and they're artifacts on small pedestals and even suspended magically in the air that no one recognizes. There's a single chair with a small table next to it in the middle of this space. And a painting is on the wall above a fireplace that is still lit. It's a portrait of a man in some strange robes standing before a stained glass window. And the
Oh, Matt,
You cut out.
Matt, I think your internet hiccuped when you said that the man in the window.
So the window, the stained glass window behind the man, is the same that you saw in the previous room. And I've sent you what you see.
Would we recognize this person from common knowledge, or is that...
It's not anyone you all would recognize from.
Nah.
And this is the painting, or this is a real person?
That is the painting.
Okay.
I'm going to look to see if I recognize any guild symbols on the window, because I figure that's the first thing I do, right? Like commonality is guilds across everything. I'm curious to see what type of person would fund this.
So looking at the portrait and at the stained glass, you see that there are symbols in it, but they don't match any of the guilds on Ravnica. They seem to be almost elemental in nature. And as
There
you
was
look
a
closer,
chair. Oh, go ahead.
oh, as I say, as you look closer, you hear the door close behind you.
Oh.
And that chair that you noticed looks really comfy. You might want to sit down in it because you're going to be here a while. And we're going to end
I
there.
go
for
over.
tonight.
No, never mind.
There you go.
I believe.
Sorry, what'd you say?
You cut out.
Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
Your internet's really bad tonight.
As I say, Vexra called dibs on the chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's official. Write that down.
And you are all going to level
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
for the excellent teamwork on the puzzle tonight.
I'm so glad you guys are good at puzzles because
I was
So
like,
my
I'll
brain
be
like,
real honest.
not there.
how did
at
you do
all.
it?
So it's Sudoku.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was
I
Sudoku,
just
right?
didn't. I recognized
That
it right
almost-
away, but I didn't want to ruin the experience.
Mhm.
So that's why I sat there and I let people ask questions and I did whatever because,
Mhm.
like, you know, like last thing you want is for someone to be like, "Oh, I know this puzzle, solves it right away." I was like, "Well, okay, now let's do it as a group," and I'll like drip feed hints because I played Sudoku like a whole
So
bunch.
I immediately recognized it as Sudoku, but I
Right.
forgot the rules to Sudoku.
Well,
was like,
okay,
I know
So-
the
That's so Janice.
so to be fair, right, in Sudoku, when you have like marks on your board, it's usually to tell you where things can't be.
right.
But then when I was quiet during all that time and letting you guys kind of figure out what you wanted to do with it, I was like doing it in my head and I was like placing stuff down. I'm like, this can't be here. This can't be here. Like,
Mhm.
you know, these marks are probably just something to ignore or where the base pieces are put to start.
Right.
Or
That
something of the
sort of
sort.
threw me off. Was those little marks. I was like, these don't really seem to correlate to anything.
So the stars didn't matter at all, or the diamonds, or whatever.
So they did. And you needed in the riddle the celestial beds
Four
for
of
4
nine.
of 9.
Or if there's
Oh,
only
okay.
four
Maybe just do
things,
Sudoku.
pieces,
It's
right?
fine.
Four needed to be covered.
Covered,
which would have
right? Yeah.
left
Okay.
Okay. But you
solutions to
guys
this
didn't really
puzzle.
do it like that. You guys just did Sudoku and it just worked.
I knew the 4 of
Mhm.
9 was important, but I just couldn't figure out where the 4 was coming from. But that makes sense.
I'll be real honest. In my brain, I was like, okay, everything else talks about us too. So maybe the 4 is us being a party of 4 going into
Mhm.
this. So I said,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
thought about that
that.
as well. Yeah.
And there
Yeah.
were 9 of us left
Mhm.
Yeah.
out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I was way overthinking.
I was also way overthinking it.
It's almost
So-
like your DMs did that on purpose.
Except when it's evil.
Alright. Well, thank you everyone for tonight's session. We're gonna go ahead and raid. I met this person playing Valorant the other day. They were super nice, so I ended up following them. They're playing spooky games. They're playing Phasmo. So we're gonna go say hello to them. So yeah, we're gonna raid them and go say hi, show some love, and we will see you all in 2 weeks on someday. We will determine and let you know. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. We have 4 seconds. 3, 2, Oh, jeez.
1.
One.